All right, welcome to the second episode, I guess, of Gamecast. I'm here with Mac.
Hello, my name's
I
Mac.
am also Mac.
We are Mac. Do you feel like we should do that for
Technically, we
every
are Mac,
single
yes.
one? Like we're both Mac. Like, do you think? You think it's necessary?
Uh, well, not really, but at the same time, like, if someone comes in and doesn't actually know,
It's true,
it might be a good idea.
true. But
You know?
I thought of this the other day, and I have these things called pop vinyls. Now I'm gonna assume most people know what they are. You know what they are. I know what they are. It's these little like plastic like vinyl things in these boxes. I have about like 20, which is like that's a like a starting collection. Some would say. But like, is the main thought that I was thinking about is collecting a hoarding characteristic?
Okay, right. So, I guess well, yeah, actually, that's actually quite a strange
Like
question.
it is
Like
hoarding.
technically, yeah, because I also have a collection, and it's a different type of
I
collection,
know what it is, and
but
it's weird.
I I like to collect rare types of like money, for instance, £2 coins,
Yeah, like
20p's,
coins,
5p's.
silver coins.
Um, 50p's are like my biggest collection. However, my 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 £2 coins are pretty close after that. But I have a lot, and I know quite a lot about it
Yeah, like
as
because like
well.
why coins? Coins is such a weird thing. Not very
Well,
interesting either.
there's some that look pretty cool. Like for
They
instance,
look pretty
I
cool.
have a mint condition coin sealed, um, uh, honoring Stephen Hawking's. So I do like an actual coin.
Yeah.
So I do like, come on, you can't say that's pretty.
No, it's.
That's
I mean,
not
it's kind
it's
of
not
cool,
cool.
but like when you said they're mint condition, that means they're used for battling. I assume you can get heavily played versions of coins.
Uh, well, yes. So when a coin goes into circulation, right,
Yeah,
it'll get scratched and stuff.
yeah.
It's always going to. And basically, if a coin is in mint condition, it hasn't been circulated.
Yeah.
Like this coin I bought straight from the place it was made.
Wait, so you buy them
So I did.
from the
Not always.
like the like the factories or whatever?
Um, so there is places that you can buy them, and normally it's before. And like some coins will never be circulated,
Yeah,
which means like it will never go into, you'll never find it in your change basically if you ever buy it.
yeah.
And can be mint condition. Like you can describe like a coin as mint condition if it doesn't have a lot of scratches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If it's been in circulation. But I have a lot, so I do,
Yeah,
because there are so many of
yeah.
them.
Actually,
Like there are
you
ones
have
from
bags full of the coins. Like,
technically now it's an entire safe, but yeah.
oh, safe. Sorry, Mr. Banker.
Ah, yes, yes. Well, it's so they don't end up like the only reason I have it, like, it's nothing like big, but it's still a lot,
Still a lot.
so it is. And I guess technically it could be classed as a hoarding thing because I have lots of of them. So I can say I've well over maybe 200
200.
or more. Actually, no, I would have a lot more than two.
Mm.
But I guess technically it could be classed as hoarding, which is strange because I never thought about it that way.
Because I was like, maybe I'm a hoarder as well. Like I don't collect a lot. I don't collect coins. I have a few things that I collect that could count as me hoarding stuff. Although my collections aren't like I think collecting coins is boring. Because like yeah, they may look cool, but there's not like it's just like it's small little details on small silver coins. Like pop
Okay,
vinyls are
right.
colorful and they're from like movies or shows or games and stuff. Media. That is quite, nice to look at.
Okay, right. That's fair. However, right,
Yeah.
technically, right. Now, I I thought I got one of these, but I ended up getting a fake coin.
Counterfeit coin.
Um, uh, yeah, actually, so there is this coin. Now, I might have mentioned it to you once in the past.
Mm.
This coin is the Kew Gardens. It is a coin that came out like 15 years ago, so it did. And the coin, the coin is worth a lot of money. So it is.
Interesting.
Like, if you hit a mint condition coin nowadays, like you could get like maybe £200 or something for that. Maybe more if you put it up for auction and people really want
There
it.
are people who like people who are worse than you who about these coins and they actually like are
Like,
more diehard than you.
yeah, I'll go out and if I get a coin of exchange, I'll keep it. But unless it's like, you know, one of a kind and I'll never be able to get it, I'm not gonna go and uh,
Spending a
uh
lot of money on it.
like go out of my way to buy it.
Yeah.
But you know, there are ones for even like the double helix that's on a £2 coin.
Mm.
So it is. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, it's got 2000 attack, 2000 defense. It wipes all opponents' living cards on the field. It's good for
Yeah.
battling that coin.
Yes, it's the greatest Pokemon.
But it's not just coins you collect. You're also a fan of collecting cards, correct?
Okay, right. Cards is a little different, so it is, I guess.
You can have a
But
lot of cards actually before it becomes like
I have okay, right. I actually had more cards. So when I was a kid, I used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. Like I say I used to play a lot. I've maybe dueled like 12, 11 times. But I like the game.
well, it's more than my outstanding zero times.
Uh, but I uh I have well over 400 cards. I think the last time I counted them, I was at like 400 something,
400
420
cards.
something maybe. I have more now. I can say without a doubt I have more now. And it's kind of like that is a lot,
Yeah.
but the only reason I still mainly have them, unlike the odd time I might even decide to, get some, is because most shops and stuff nowadays do not sell them. And to be quite honest, I don't really like the design of the new ones.
Mm.
Like the older ones were themed around like the actual monsters and stuff, but
Yeah.
when I see a new Yu-Gi-Oh pack nowadays, it's all it's like all themed around the characters and stuff, and frankly, it looks too anime for my liking,
Too
like
anime.
stereotypical anime. It's too bright and colorful.
I,
Not
I
saying
see.
that makes it bad, but it's just it's not as good
It's not as good as
the
the
original.
original ones. Like I have a few old Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like
Um,
they're not necessarily the oldest version, but they look alright. Like they do look quite cool, but I don't like
yeah.
have 400. I have like maybe 80 maybe.
Yeah, but I had a lot of cards when I was a kid. Um, at one point, I don't know where I got them from. In fact, I don't even remember buying them, but I know for a fact that I had them. Like, I'm 100% sure.
Mm.
I also had like three or 400 match attacks, and like
Oh,
these
match
weren't.
attacks. Trying to get me started on them.
n- No, just wait for this. No, these were old. I had to have been given these from someone that I knew or in my family or something because these were old
First edition
cards.
Steven Gerrard card.
No, they were just really old cards,
Nicely.
and I don't know where they went. They disappeared,
Mm.
and I have not a clue.
Thrown out maybe.
I don't actually remember. I used to keep them in the same place I got my Yu-Gi cards, but just, I don't know what happened
Incinerated
because
perhaps.
funny story, right? I kept like my Yu-Gi cards and my match attacks and stuff all in the same place.
Mm.
I had a spot at the back of a wardrobe that I kept them,
Yeah.
and the Yu-Gi-Oh was different. I had a tin for that, so but the the match attacks were like just binded together, and that wardrobe I actually did open it. Now there was this like bag thing with a clear top on it. So it was at the top of my wardrobe.
Mm.
Now while everybody was out, and thankfully I didn't get hurt here. I actually caught it, but I had that thing come down and hit me on the head, and then the entire wardrobe, which was full of stuff, collapsed upon me.
So how'd you survive this?
Well, so the way my wardrobe was laid out is you had the top, the stuff on the top,
Mm.
and then you opened it and it had a shelf, a very small shelf, big enough to put an average sized book on.
Yeah.
And then you had the bar going across underneath the shelf where you would hang all your clothes
Mm.
and whatever. And uh the way the backs on stuff like that, for instance, like drawers and stuff nowadays, they're all like nailed to the back with like these really thin nails,
I mean, I can't say
and it's
I've
like,
had any like that. That they're very, you know, lightly nailed at the
well,
back.
maybe it is a little different nowadays, but you know that like that wooden panel, like the back of your drawers,
Yeah, I know
right? That's really thin. That was on the back of this wardrobe because when I got it, it was pretty old at that point,
that. Yeah.
and the legs were fine, but I don't know what happened. But
It just
one
decided
of the legs had
not
snapped,
to
and
exist.
but I caught it at that back panel, and if the nails had have come off,
Yeah, fuck.
because the nails in it were tiny, but it was a really big wardrobe.
Mm.
Like if that panel hadn't have held, the part of the shelf would have actually hit me in the neck, which I'm no physicist,
Oh
but when a
yeah,
wardrobe,
yeah.
drops on top of you, if that was to hit your neck, it might do some damage.
It might.
But yeah.
By the way, like,
So
I don't know if you still have like, I guess they call it furniture. Like right in my room right now, unless you count tables as like furniture in your room, I don't have like the wardrobe's in my wall. Like it's like I guess you could say it's a walk-in
oh
wardrobe,
yeah.
but I don't have any like actual furniture anymore. Besides my bed, I have tables, I have the bed, my shoes are kept in their boxes, and I have like the wardrobe in the wall. So I don't really have any like actual furniture in my room anymore.
Well, I still have drawers. I have a side cabinet at each side of my bed.
Yeah, I don't even
Uh,
have
on the
nightstands. Like I don't have
Oh, I
nightstands.
use mine. They're literally there, so I have something to set my phone on when I
Nah,
go to sleep.
nah, bro, just on the bed, my phone.
Ah,
I don't
no.
recommend it. Like you can wake up and like you're like I've had mornings I wake up and I can't find the phone. I don't know where it is.
I would be more concerned at the fact that if your phone is on really low battery, you put it on, it ends up getting over or under something, and then it ends up generating a lot of heat, and we know where that's going.
Well, right.
But
So people may cringe when they hear this. I mean, like
mhm,
the damage. There's no damage done to my phone. Touch wood. Uh, when I was in like school, when I had my most recent phone, I basically charged it every night because I used a lot of the power. It was on like 40% by the end of the day most days. I would charge it every night. Now, like I've been told by it's not a good idea to charge it overnight. But I checked my because Apple has it now where you can check your battery life, uh, like life like expectancy or like life, like how much it has left.
yeah.
It's only 90%, which is better than I expected. For two
Oh,
years, I've busy charging overnight. I'm only really
well, that's because. I'm sorry. Keep going.
no, no, I've only really like lost 10% of its life. What's the word? Life what? It's not life expectancy. It's like
It,
life, not lifeline. Lifespan. That's it. Battery lifespan. That's
yeah.
the word. I don't know why I couldn't think of it.
So the thing about that is, right now, actually, fun fact. This actually turns into what I was doing today.
Hmm.
Um, so I have an iPad. Well, I say I have an iPad, right? My mom used to have an iPad. She still does because I fixed it. Um, that is almost as old as me.
What? The
This
iPad did
iPad,
not
no, no,
come
no, just
out
wait.
until like.
This, this iPad was bought when I was in like first or second year of school. Like this iPad is like
Okay, that
nearly
makes more
10
sense.
years old.
Like when you said as old as you, I thought you meant like
I said,
as you
oh
were
no,
born.
sorry. I should have said nearly as old
Yeah,
as me.
because iPad didn't come out until like 2000 and something, like 2000 and like I think 9 or 10. I want to say.
Yeah, but this iPad, it's pretty old. However, its battery life still is absolutely amazing. I, I have I've spent quite a lot of my day. I'm not gonna lie. It has the original Flappy Bird on it.
Yeah, I know.
As we all
Before we
know, that's now
recorded this,
gone.
Hillary sent me like eight video snaps of him playing it. Even though I also have it on my old phone for like 140 high score plus or something. But yes,
Right, but this iPad is ancient. Like it's absolutely
I'm
ancient.
surprised it survived. It got any cracks on the screen or any like sort of like damage done?
Nope, it's in perfect condition.
But where's the iPad
There
been though?
are
Like has it just been
there
in the
are
house?
oh no, it used to be out and everywhere.
Respect then.
Um, but the the only thing, right? The screen is in like perfect condition,
Mm.
but the the cover for it, like there's obviously tiny scratches on it,
Yeah.
but like it's a pretty thick cover,
Oh yeah, yeah,
so
the
it
cover
is.
getting scratches. Like there's nothing good about that. That's just
Yeah,
nature.
that's true. But no, uh, the only reason that it was stopped or like it wasn't used was put away for ages,
Mm.
and I ended up learning how to, very coincidentally, learning how to fix it. Um, and I came home when I fixed it, and it still functioned better than an iPod that I bought literally just to play games on.
Mm.
Um, instead of sitting for ages, and doing it on my phone. I like to have something that just was specifically used for games. Now, granted, what I think of the iPod now, it's more of a thing that you would get someone who isn't ready to have a phone. I think is more along what an iPod is because technically it can do everything that
Well,
a
iPod has
phone
like a
can.
phone. Right? I had an iPod as well. I
Yeah,
forget though.
but I literally just bought it so I could play games. But that iPad, that iPad's battery it would run circles
Peak.
around what my iPod is, and my iPod was bought 3 years ago.
Well, like the
maybe
iPad
ever
is
so
not
slightly
it's
longer.
not a bad piece of tech. Like it's not.
Oh, it's not. But considering how old this is, like the bezels are nearly an inch thick. I assume you know what a bezel is, right?
I'm gonna say no. I don't know, but also for other people who don't know, so please enlighten us. What that
Yeah.
means?
So a bezel, so you see the tiny space around the edge of your phone that doesn't have a screen?
Yeah.
That is called a bezel. Now, granted, they are absolutely tiny nowadays, and they're almost non-existent in some cases.
Hmm.
Um, but bezels on that iPad are huge,
Well,
absolutely
it's an
massive.
iPad. It makes sense.
No, iPad. I'm talking about the
No,
iPad.
yeah,
They're they're
I
they're
said
actually
iPad.
nearly an
I
inch
said
thick.
iPad, didn't I? Have I said iPad? Oh,
Oh,
I
you said
meant to
iPod
say
maybe.
iPad if I said
Excuse me.
iPod. But yeah, the screen's big. But
Yeah.
the thing about iPad, right? Well, at least nowadays, like the thing I don't like about iPads or tablets or things that are like big screened is typing on them. Typing on them is so annoying
Oh yeah,
because the screen's so big, and
yeah,
at that point you're better off just getting like if you need it for typing, just get a phone or something, or like a laptop
yeah.
as
That's
well.
that's that's fair.
Um,
So it is.
but
Um,
I want to change the uh the the flow of this conversation because I keep thinking, but I need to tell a story now before I forget it. Before like minutes before we started recording this, Mark mentioned WD-40. Like it's possible that you don't know what that is. It may not be in every country. It may not be something that's even like used much anymore. Basically, it's like this can of stuff that's used for like mechanical things and whatever. If there's like rust or there's like it's type, it's good for like for cars and like new bikes and stuff. I think it's also like a spray thing you can get as well, but it doesn't matter what it
yeah,
is. Basically, it's like a blue like a deodorant can, but for like cars and whatever. And my mate Johnny, this is
yeah.
like secondary school, so like high school or whatever. Um, and he for some reason has a can of it in his bag. I don't know why. I don't know, but he was using it for something. I didn't even know what it was at the time, but he showed me it, and it like exploded or like broke in his bag, and I was next to him in whatever class it was, like the first period or whatever, because this is sort of the day he showed me it, and the smell of that was death times a million. It just smells like if you took like a medicinal like hospital smell and like freeing like petrol. It's such a bad smell, and it was like leaking through his bag on the chair, and I was sitting next to him, and it was the when you smell something so bad for so long, you can't smell like anything throughout like for the rest of like the day, like at all. I couldn't smell anything. Even when I left the class after that, and I wasn't with him next class, I still smelled it. Like it was like stuck in my nose, like for like the whole day. I don't recommend using that as like an air freshener in a room.
Uh,
Even like if you're like a mechanic who maybe likes the smell of it, I wouldn't recommend either way. It's such a vile smell. Um, but I needed to tell it before I forgot about it because it did actually happen. Like that's a true story.
so
Like
did the can
I don't
explode
know what
or did
happened,
it
but
like?
basically he said to me, "Yo, this is leaking." I was like, "Oh, yeah, epic, bro." Like I didn't care, and then I realized, "Oh, I'm next in this class. That's not epic for me. I have to endure with that smell." Uh,
Yeah,
I think something must have like because I don't even know what he may have had it where it was like it was pressed down on like a book and it was constantly like spraying or like whatever into his bag, which may have been,
yeah.
but it
That
was getting worse though, the
that
smell.
that would have probably made noise though. So what I think probably happened is the nozzle snapped,
Yeah, it's
causing it
possible.
causing it to leak. There's no way that that it would have. I don't think it would have exploded.
Yeah, like exploded. Like I don't mean like it legit exploded, but there was the substance was coming out without a different way. Basically,
Yeah,
that's what was happening. And no, thank you. Not my worst enemy. I would I would
yeah,
recommend that. It's so bad. Like it. it's just a lot of chemicals and whatever, just all mixed in.
Yeah. It's
I don't think teacher
basically
even
like
noticed about it in that class, which is
basically
shocking. The shocking
um,
part about it, because I thought everyone would notice, but I guess not. But
yeah.
yes, the shocking part. Tell me about it.
Yeah. No, so basically like the stuff is normally just used. It's like basically sprayable like lubricant
Yeah, yeah.
to an extent, I guess. It allows say you have a lock, like one of those sliding bolts for your gate.
Mm-hmm.
It has the
Old
wee
school
hook.
gate.
If you spray that, it basically what it does is it makes the two surfaces have less friction against each other,
Yeah,
and then you can move it easier and then clean it. Or you can just spray it and leave it there and just have to keep doing it every so often, which some
yeah.
people also do.
I don't know. Like I'm not a mechanic. Like I don't. I know nothing about cars besides they can. I think they move. So I don't really know anything about it, nor have I used it. I was trying to tell people who also don't know, like me, what it is.
Just realized what you said. You think they move?
I mean, I'm not sure. Like,
Wait a minute.
don't take me on that for a fact.
Uh, you know what? I might have to check up on that.
Yeah, yeah.
You might
Take
be
it
right.
with a pinch of salt.
Uh, God, I can't believe I didn't realize you just said that.
So like so when you get in your Cybertruck, Mike?
My Cybertruck?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm not actually getting a
Hey,
Cybertruck,
what?
but like next week.
Bro, I was gonna maybe vlog, pretend that I owned it and like vlogged it with this is my Cybertruck,
Yes, I'm not actually getting
quotation marks.
a Cybertruck.
No, you don't.
I'll go spend like you know,
It's only like
it's like
40,000.
15,000 for the lower. That's like the lowest end model.
No, it's like normal price for like SUVs and 4x4s, I think.
Actually, considering the trucks would be brand new, it's actually pretty cheap.
Well, because I remember Elon, discussing in a podcast. And it's kind of funny actually. He was because like, have you seen when they revealed it? Have you seen that like the thing they did, like the
Oh yeah.
yeah, so basically like the window smashes and all this stuff. But that's not what I was what I'm saying. Like what I thought was interesting. Like he's trying to make it so like everyone can get it, like everyone can buy it, and like so he's making it cheap, but also he's making it like he said himself, it's inspired off the Halo Warthog, which is kind of funny. Because like if you played Halo, the Warthog is like the
Yeah.
truck with the turret on the back and whatever. Now there's no gun on it, obviously, but well, the civilian model
Yeah.
anyway. But like it does look kind of like the Warthog, which is kind of cool that people can just buy, and the bulletproof glasses and the RPG proof walls or whatever. It's pretty incredible piece of hardware.
Yeah.
It's hardware, right? It's technology, or is it still like mechanical? Like is it more car or is it more like computer, Mac? You're a computer guy. What do you think? Is it more computer or
Okay,
more like
right. So
mechanical
the
device?
Cybertruck, it doesn't use the normal like types of like detection and stuff. I don't know what it uses, but from what I have got the the actual like Teslas and stuff. Now I don't know about the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Um, but they have a lot of technology in them. Like for instance, there on there's there's an app. Now I don't know how true this is. Now I've seen a couple of instances where uh, a Tesla actually drove itself out of a flooding car park, which I thought was
Seriously?
pretty funny.
So
Oh
that's pretty
yeah,
impressive.
apparently. No, I don't know if that was fake or whatever, but I do know that apparently there's an app for it or whatever,
Yeah.
and say you're standing across a car park,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're at the other side of a massive car park
Yeah.
because you couldn't find a space. If if it is safe to do so, you can actually get your Tesla to come to you. It will turn itself on and it will drive to your current location,
That is
following, all of the paths and avoiding cars and the speed limit of that area. Like that is crazy.
that is crazy. It's so good though that like
So it
that
is.
exists. Like I want a Tesla now. That's like Teslas aren't they're I don't know how much they are. I don't really like look at prices. And plus, thing of cars is they're never really the same price. Like unless you buy it directly from Tesla themselves, like it's gonna be from like car dealers, marketplaces, and they're all gonna be different prices. But they're not cheap either way. Something that cool is not gonna be cheap with all the
Yeah.
technology. And it's also when you buy something like that, you gotta worry with your friend putting a USB killer inside it and destroying the entire thing.
Yeah. Uh, no, but and going back to the Cybertruck really quick.
Yeah,
Now, I did I did did some business studies and and whatever and I know this amount about businesses. Now, think about this for a moment. Right, the window breaking on the Tesla
yeah,
like either had to be staged or was probably the greatest advertising uh like one of the best advertising feels yet because you feel advertising something. Not only does that give you a chance to show that your business can fix and solve problems that are happening.
yeah.
So, the window crack turned out there was some fractures or whatever in the glass, I think was the explanation. Also gives you a chance to re-advertise the product.
It's true.
And then, now, we are still talking about it now. Everybody goes and jokes about it and makes memes or whatever, which is free advertisement
It's true.
for that business. Now, try and think about this. Can you think of a good advertisement for like way back in the day that doesn't have a feel? There was one for Apple as well. I think there was one for Xbox at one point. I'm not sure. But it it is good business.
Sometimes fields are good for advertisement.
Oh yeah.
But the Cybertruck one, right? Because Elon also talked about it, and I guess he brought up. So I'll say what he said about it. Basically, right. So they're throwing the steel ball at the door. I think that or before. I don't remember. No, actually, no. Yeah, they're throwing the steel ball at the door, and it was fine. Like before they even brought like did the show or whatever or the reveal, and it was fine. But what they did on the show, right, is they sledgehammered the door before testing the window, and what they said is sledgehammering the door chipped the corner or the like edges of it, which the edges of that will just make the full thing just break, which is why the window broke. But I wasn't there. I can't confirm or whatever if it was like that, but it makes sense that that's why it would have shattered because
Yeah.
he says it can stop a 50 caliber bullet. So it breaking doesn't really make sense.
He designed his car to stop a
I'm
50
pretty sure
caliber
he
bullet.
says it can take like 50 caliber bullet and not break.
Now, you gotta wonder, does Elon Musk have some range or something and he just sits and shoots
Well,
Teslas
maybe he
for
doesn't shoot himself, but like
Cybertrucks for target
he
practice?
probably has like somewhere you test them and like has like 50 cal on standby.
Uh, no one Elon he does.
Like when you go to buy a car, there's a few boxes you have to tick. Does it move? The price, the fuel efficiency, 50 caliber,
Is it bulletproof?
50 caliber like capabilities for defense, all that stuff need to be thought about.
Ah, yeah, it is kind of mad though.
It's
So it is
I hate people hating on the truck. I think
like
the truck looks cool. Like I don't think it looks that
uh,
bad.
you the best of it is it actually has like a storage thing where you can actually it fits another type of like vehicle or whatever. I don't know what it was, but I think there's like a model or whatever where there's like a bike in the back of it, like an
Well,
actual like
it has
electric
a
bike or
a
whatever.
bed in the back where you can put like stuff, like a
Yeah.
pickup bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at one point there was supposed to be actually something in that, or there is. I could have
Yeah, you
swore
bolt a machine
I
gun to it.
saw something or heard it about it. Yeah,
Then you're
once,
really,
once,
then you're really playing Halo.
oh yeah, like it does really look like something. Now I don't, not, maybe not everybody will know this movie, but it's like something out of, futuristic movie like RoboCop or whatever.
Well, yeah, but like you can't say it's not a warthog. Have you like look at it and look at a warthog?
Yeah, no, I have. I've seen
Like
it.
Halo 1 warthog, where like it looks like it's made out of some sort of unknown material, was all like pointy and like the dimensions don't make sense.
Yeah. Now the the, the Cybertruck doesn't look bad, but I don't know if you saw it, right?
Mm.
But back like 5 years ago, maybe this is a pretty long time. Back when I used to like normally watch TV, there was an advert for this like you know what a Kia is, Mac?
Yeah.
Well, that car, there was a car that like looked similar like that. Like I'm not a car person. I know very little about cars as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this car was like it looked like a Kia, but it only had sharp edges,
Not appealing to the eye.
and it was just a standard car, and it looked so bad. It looked so bad,
Yeah, some
and I don't know why it just didn't look good.
trying to be different, but the line
Yeah,
between
like
different and disgustingly horrible to look at are very close together.
yeah. Like I think the only reason that the Cybertruck like works is because it didn't try to like base itself off a normal looking car.
Absolutely not. No car looks like that, sir.
Well, technically the Cyber well, okay, right, the Cyber
The,
I was about
it
to
is the
say the
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck is a car, but it's not, it's a truck.
It's a truck. It's a 4x4, the SUV type thing.
Yep. But like I wonder what came up or like I wonder how he thought of that.
Listen, bro,
Like did he come up with it himself or did like someone,
I don't know.
propose the idea to him?
I don't know. But I can't wait until the future where like nowadays like drug dealers have like the black SUVs and whatever, like those like
I
big
didn't
SUVs.
know that, but
Well,
yeah,
like
keep
drug
going.
dealers I guess it's more stereotypical. Like they have like the big SUVs with the black windows. I can't wait till the future when they're all in their Cybertrucks going about. The
Yeah,
future
it's
is
gonna
gonna be
be
great.
really weird. Can you imagine what the police cars look like
Oh, they fly,
in
bro.
for years and years to
Well,
come?
they fly about. They actually fly off the ground.
Oh yeah. Just someone calls the police and just an AC-130 is just something.
Like a drone, like a small drone of the power of an AC-130, just like about the streets.
Yeah,
The
that would
future is
be,
gonna be weird. And I actually thought
yeah.
about this. We're making these videos. I thought about it a little bit. Is there anything you want to tell like yourself in the future? Because like so this is
Uh,
being made. So like this is currently made in 2021, right? So in about like 10
mhm.
years, if this site even exists and if we exist as well, um, what do you want to tell yourself, like, who's now like
Honestly,
50 years old?
I don't know, to be totally honest. I don't know what I would tell myself
If you future
because,
me, I don't know either.
but like it's definitely strange to think about because there's no way that this site in like 10 years, unless something really
Gets
bad
hacked and
happens,
then nuked.
well, yeah, or the warehouse or whatever, or the the site
The server.
basically. Yeah, well, I suppose they could just rebuild it. Like YouTube makes quite a lot of money, so technically, yes, if all the servers and stuff somehow simultaneously went down, or their buildings or whatever all got fire, they could probably rebuild it.
Mm-hmm.
So they could, because the buildings, I guess, would still basically be there, but the videos and stuff won't. So
As long as this video remains, it's all that really matters.
Yeah,
It is
like
weird though.
YouTube, I think in the next 10 years, like you know the way you have satellite TV and stuff,
Yeah,
I don't think that'll exist in 10 years.
really?
I think that'll be gone.
Just gone or just
Yeah,
just replaced?
I think that 100% will be gone.
The
And
TV
maybe the
is definitely on its way out.
yeah, like Sky, for instance, might last longer, like stuff like that. But
Hmm.
like actual satellite TV, like it's already pretty sparse and stuff. There are some people that use it, but like with stuff like Netflix
Yeah.
and Amazon Prime and stuff like that, like already out. Eventually, people aren't going to use it, and it's all going to be
Well,
online.
it's happening right now.
So it is.
Like people aren't using stuff like that
What
right
you
now.
say?
Like right now, people aren't even like they don't watch like old school TV. It's just Netflix or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Like I, I very rarely even watch
Yeah, but
Netflix or
oh, you're
anything.
right. But you watch TV though. Like I don't even watch. I haven't watched TV in years. Like actual TV.
I like like yeah. Does a movie count as watching TV?
No,
Ah, well then
because
I haven't watched
that's
TV
more
in quite a
Netflix at that
while.
point. You're watching movies. Though.
Uh, it wasn't on Netflix, but
Well, yeah,
like, it
but
was on actual TV. But
well, whatever it was.
it, it like I haven't sat down to watch like an actual show on my TV in a very long time. Like the last time I saw something, I think was I was going just flicking through the channels. I was kind of bored. I ended up watching a movie later on.
Mm.
Um, but I was flicking through the channels. I'm like, it's it's just not. There's just not as much.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, it makes sense. Like
Like
no one's
90%.
watching. There's no audience to even do it for. Like,
Ah, well, there's still an audience. It's just it's dwindling, to say the least.
yeah.
There's just so little of them nowadays.
I mean,
Like,
it's the future. Like it won't just be TV. Like soon there'll be jobs that will be like replaced with robots and whatever.
yeah,
Like
like eventually, probably yes. However, at the same time, you know, like some things did need to be automated because some things can be done with way more precision and accuracy and less feeling than,
the human will be.
a human.
Yeah, but some things. Well, like it's still good for them to be replaced because it's like its resources are
Yeah,
being saved, but like jobs that humans would usually do are just being full on replaced by the machines. Like,
yeah, yeah. Like now, could you imagine an economy without, or like, is there even going to be an actual economy if there are no people in jobs apart from the engineers or whatever who will fix the machines and the IT people and whatever that will use the machines and whatever.
so like I feel like the economy is it's like the backbone for almost everything, and like people work, they
Yeah,
make money get in, like people work for all the machines and everything, and like money's always like the
because
core like driven thing. But if
yeah,
no one is working, it's like Wally. We're all like on those little chairs, fat in
yeah.
space, floating about.
And no one is working as well. You see, if you print like for instance, like say even if you print money, right? Print more money. If everybody has the same amount of money, right?
Yeah,
Rich and poor don't exist. The money will end up losing all of its value.
it's true. But like if
Like it
everyone's
will literally
rich
be worthless.
and we all have mansions, like what happens then? Like if we all have mansions and like cars, and whatever, like would the world still work?
See, Probably not, unless there's some other like implementation or whatever.
Like if we're all
But
rich,
if we're all rich, there's no reason to work.
there's no work, so
So there's not,
there's
there's
no like farmers probably don't exist. Like
yeah. Oh
electricity
well,
isn't
oh,
being run by people.
farmers might exist.
Yeah,
Farmers
but
might exist.
it'd be out of volunteering basically. Like everyone would be
Probably.
volunteering. It wouldn't be.
Yeah. Um, but even at that, right now, it's probably going to be many years before technology is advanced enough that like we won't have to supervise it to
Yeah.
an extent. There'll still be people that'll have to be qualified to repair them.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the world's going at the moment is engineers and IT people are like the main thing.
Yeah,
They are.
I remember when I was in
And like,
school, people wanted like IT
yes, I
was
know
pushed for.
technically,
Like if you want a
yeah,
job in the
but
future, just be good at IT.
yeah. But like, yes, I know doctors and stuff at the moment are like heavily wanted,
That's
but
true.
that's just because of the current circumstance that
Yeah.
we're in. Like, if all of that goes away,
Fingers
it wouldn't
crossed
be as
it
bad.
does.
Yeah. But like, if you had surgeons, like, if you managed to get, you know, because a robot will always be more accurate than a person, right?
Mm.
But
Yeah.
if you manage to somehow get, a robot that can move enough and assess the situation properly, um, like you're not really gonna need people now. For instance, for like bigger surgeries or something, you're gonna have to have actual people, like qualified people, on standby just in case.
Well, not everyone trusts robots as well as much as a human.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, like it's almost inevitable that eventually it's going to happen. The robots are going to be
The machines will
mostly
take
doing.
over.
Well, maybe not take over,
No, they're taking over.
but turning into Terminator, are we? Um, but you know, it will reach a stage where I would say robots and stuff will probably do most of our work,
Yeah.
which
Do you think
you
it's a
know,
scary thing? Like you personally?
uh, I I don't mind it. I think I'd be I think I'd be more concerned about it, like when proper actual like we're talking like for instance, Cortana out of Halo level like AI, she's that type of thought process. Like I'm not
Who's in
talking
control of all like the weapons and stuff in the world? Then that's a problem because then if they take over, it's
yeah,
game over. Like
yeah. But I think like I'm not talking like holograms and whatever. Like if an AI was capable of just that thought process, I would be slightly more concerned. Uh, but you know, just like normal machines that still need like people to function. When it comes to that, no, I'm not. I'm not worried,
mm.
to be totally honest, because without human input, they're not a threat
Yeah, like people
at
always worry
all.
about the machines like becoming sentient and like taking over the world and whatever and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like I can understand, being concerned, but at this current stage, you know, technology is sorry, technology is it's pretty advanced, but it's not advanced enough yet that I think we really have to worry about it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But when that stuff does roll around, I would say I probably would be pretty concerned. But until then, I'm perfectly fine with, machines and whatever. Because you know, without, actual technology, this, for instance, this podcast or
This wouldn't
whatever
be
would
happening.
not be happening.
Nothing of this would be happening.
And we wouldn't be able to communicate either.
What happens when the
You would have to
podcast
eventually.
kills us? What happens then? Like when this podcast somehow kills us, what happens?
I well, okay, if a podcast manages to kill us, you know what? I think we had it coming.
Yeah, if we don't see that coming, we deserve to die at that point for being so
Yeah,
stupid.
it's if our voices and the recording software or whatever that we use manage to become sentient enough to kill us, and
Imagine
we
like
don't.
it becomes live and it's like our voices like together, like all the words we've said, it's their that's the vocabulary it has, and it's like our voices combined. It'd be so weird.
That would be weird. It'd be kind of funny
Like a
though.
deformed like machine with our voices, like that's it's the same voice.
It turns out we're making the mangle.
Yeah, that'd be horrific.
Uh, yeah, it would be pretty weird to think about, but you know, I would be more concerned at how podcasts
No, no,
become
no, no.
sentient.
It's not the how that's the concern here. It's just when it does happen.
It's at play.
Yeah,
Uh, it, it is weird to think about. Like one day, like we'll probably maybe reach that stage of like proper actual sentient, I guess, AI. But you know, until then, it's not
until
really
then
not really a
we're
problem.
gonna be just living
Yeah.
our lives as normal.
Yeah. Like for instance, I think back in 2017 or 18, I think it was, there was this thing. So you know the way, stereotypical phone in the future is just glass?
Yeah,
They actually managed to store information on glass, which means technically in the future we could just have all glass phones, which would be a nightmare for those people, and you know who you are, who drop their phone and break it.
yeah. Like I've dropped my phone, and the iPhone 10 is glass. The screen's glass or whatever, and
Yeah.
I have like maybe like a small crack or whatever, but like I haven't destroyed the entire thing after one drop. I've been quite lucky.
Yeah. But like I'm talking when the entire phone is made of that much glass that it's see-through.
Okay, then yeah, that's brittle.
Like, yeah. And like, yes, technically, it would also depend, on if it was just normal glass. But like the fact that people have even managed to store information on glass is mad.
It is mad. Like.
And like, you know, LEDs and stuff are already pretty small. Like if we find some other way to make, you know, like your screen is compiled of literally three tiny lights, or, they're pixels
Mm,
that are just three different colors, and those three different colors make up every color.
yeah.
So they do on your phone. And if we could find a way either to make those, absurdly small, um, then like if you were to do that in a phone nowadays, and you were to just get glass, if you were to make them really really small, but still have them allow light to go through, there's still enough of a gap that light goes through.
Mm,
The phone would be see-through, and you probably wouldn't even see the LEDs. But the only other way that they could probably do it is if they find some alternative solution to LEDs. I don't know how like OLED screens and stuff work, but I do know they exist.
yeah.
But like, could you imagine having a phone made of glass potentially in the future?
I mean, like I don't know why glass. It's just a fragile thing to use.
Okay, right. But like, you can make glass stronger. Like that is a thing. but you know, you actually have to, like for instance, I would say bulletproof glass is probably pretty strong. Don't know for what reason, but
Bullets.
something tells me it's pretty strong.
Yeah, the bullets are
Now,
one for it.
maybe, but the thing is, like, eventually, if they somehow make a completely all glass phone, now I don't know if you remember this, and I don't know how true this is because I think it was just a rumor, but I believe Apple actually filed a patent, which is like a thing to, you know, do something. It's like basically you take it and it's yours.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm pretty sure that they filed a patent for an all glass iPhone. Now, I don't know if that's true or whatever, or even if that rumor actually happened, but
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I remember somewhere that that was an actual thing, and they might actually maybe be making a like all glass phone, which would also be absolutely crazy.
I
How
mean,
they're gonna do it,
yeah.
another
How
question.
high though?
I don't know, but like, well, to be fair, the entire phone could just be surrounded by glass, maybe.
Yeah, but like that's cheaping out though. I think. Like if you're
Mm,
just surrounded, then it's not truly glass at that point. It's just a phone in which is basically what the iPhone is now,
mm,
which is this glass, a phone in like a glass
yeah,
thing.
but like, could you imagine, right? Now, if you made an all glass phone, right, 360 degrees, sides and all, right?
Hmm.
Couldn't you not have a screen on both sides, and then if you ever want to like take a picture or whatever,
Yeah, what was the camera
and
gonna
you
do?
you you wrote, oh, okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but do you know why like the punch hole camera and the the notch exist on phones?
Well, the notch is so you have your other camera looking at your for selfies and whatever.
Yeah. So the whole reason that the punch holes exist now, I I hate the punch hole. I do not like it. However, the whole reason that that came into, existence was because they are trying to actually put the screen or the camera underneath the screen. So they are so that you won't see it. And eventually, I don't know if there was an actual phone that had it. I think there might have been.
Hmm.
Um, but that's why that exists because they want to have the camera completely under the screen. Now, if they can do that with your front facing selfie camera, um, because the only reason that you're going to use that camera, unless you don't know how to use a phone, would be for selfies.
Yeah.
But, you know, that, eventually we'll have a like 100%, like our screen size, like our screen only takes up, I think it's like 98% of our screen. It's not the entire front of the screen. Now bezels are already really, really small.
Mhm. Yeah.
But if you manage to put an under screen camera that you can't see and there's a display on top of that, you have 100% of your screen. Which means if they can do that with that, eventually they'll develop a way to have really good rear cameras
Mhm.
for taking like better pictures, and that will be under the screen
I mean, like,
as
is it
well.
really that bad a big of a deal though for just that extra few percent of the screen? Like, I don't find the camera to be that obnoxious.
Okay, right. So it's not the camera being obnoxious, but you can't say that the notch, like when it
The
first came out,
iPhone
wasn't a
10
little
notch is
distracting.
one of the worst notches ever in phone lore. I agree. It's so big, takes up so much of the screen.
Yeah, yeah. So the whole reason for that is so that they can like when you first got it, it's probably not as bad now. You know, it's more tolerable for you.
Yeah.
Still not great, but it's more tolerable.
Hmm.
However, the it was to decrease the bezel size, so it
Mm.
was around the phone. If you put an under-screen camera, you no longer have to look at that, and you don't have something really distracting in your face. The punch hole is far worse. Just having a tiny like black patch in the center of your screen, it's
Oh, in the
infuriating.
center? No way. I'm not. I don't want that.
Now, I don't know if your phone does this, but my phone, the way my phone does it is that uh, I uh, I have like a black bar
Hmm.
that comes up that covers it. Like the notification bar on mine is black so that you can't see it. Now, I do have the option to like, you know, zoom to fill so like the image is displayed, but whatever is behind that notch, I won't see it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, eventually that'll be gone and we won't have that annoyingly distracting notch straight in our face.
Yeah, one of my friends has he had the most recent Samsung Galaxy, whatever, and
Uh-huh.
he was like trying to like he got very defensive when I went again like about it and against it because I had an iPhone 10, which was like at the time was like the rival for that. And it's just like the notch
Yeah.
on the iPhone is just so bad. And it's like I mean it's not great. The Galaxy is definitely smaller than the iPhones, but I got used to it, and I don't really,
Yeah.
care as much. But if you want a smaller notch, that's not like the entire top of the screen. I can see, that glass thing and whatever being useful. Although, like a
Yeah.
double-sided phone would be weird. Like, what side you pick for each day? Like, it's just whatever side you look upon.
Okay, right. What I was meaning is like if you if you had a double-sided screen, so say for instance, you hold your screen sideways, right?
Yeah.
And you know, you look at it, you have your selfie camera facing you. If you were to flip your phone around and your screen could come on the back, you know, under the actual, you know, it because we all know that the selfie camera isn't as good as the front camera.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
If your screen could flip around to the back and you had a good view of that, you could take better selfies, I guess. Like I'm not an individual who takes selfies. I don't do it.
I take
But
selfies.
you take selfies, Mac?
Not many, but I take the odd selfie. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you could do that and you could make your selfies or whatever look better, like would you?
8K. Yes.
8K, considering, you know, well, actually, no, I was
No, the
going to say
iPhone
we
10,
don't. If this,
and I imagine 11, 12, your camera on the back, so your real your actual camera you use for stuff, it can do 4K 60, but the rear one can't do 4K 60.
oh,
Yeah, like I'm being
I don't know that.
serious. Like I was messing around, and it wasn't there before. They must have added it in, from like a patch or
Yeah, I
whatever.
think it's because the technology can support it. Like, for instance, now again, is it the Chromebook, for instance, now it does not like YouTube. It doesn't deal great with YouTube. However, for some unknown reason, now for when they were doing, you know when like you know how Google Earth and stuff is like made in the street view?
Hmm.
They have a car go around with a 360-degree camera mounted on it,
Yeah.
right? Well, that's like an actual like thing that you can get. Now, I don't know if you can actually like buy it or whatever, like personally. But there was this channel that I watched that had one. I think they were sponsored or whatever by it, and it recently came out. That was the one time that like I really discovered that you know there was much better than like 4K. My book for some reason decided to try and render that video
Oh yeah.
in
Oh
like
yeah.
13K, which I haven't even heard of yet.
Yeah. Imagine the Chromebook like
I've heard of
has this secret technology of reaching
it.
that K.
Uh, it did not. It froze. instantly. I clicked on the video, it froze, and eventually it just shut itself off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like, you know, it is kind of mad.
It is, man.
So it is. Uh, but you know,
By the way, have you noticed both of our podcasts have both been about phones, kind of? Like,
you know
are
what?
we just
Yeah.
phone nerds secretly? Like, I don't think I was a phone nerd, but maybe I am. If every time it's led to
Well,
phones.
okay, right. It's kind of like even if you are technically classed as a phone nerd, it's kind of difficult not to be one, considering or not even like know a lot about it because it it exists in every single factor of your life.
It's true.
So it does. And frankly, there's not really much you can do about that
Yeah, it's just they
because
accept.
even if you don't own a phone, you're gonna see ones around you. So you are.
It's true. Not much can be done. Like everyone has a phone. Everyone has a phone.
Yeah. And even people that don't
Do
probably still have like landlines or whatever to contact other people.
the president has a phone? The president has a custom
Uh,
phone though.
yeah. He just calls up Microsoft, yo, I want like the best phone made.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of funny. Um, but no, it is kind of crazy. So it is like how far phones have come.
like if you look at like the Nokia Break, for example, and then present day
Yeah.
phones.
Those are indestructible we phones, might I add.
So how so that they've improved like the screen and touch and all that, but how come the the destructibility indestructibility has left it? Like where did they
Uh,
lost that power?
okay, right. So Nokia's, from my knowledge, aren't made anymore. However, I still own a Nokia, and it is the most indestructible thing I've ever seen. So it is. Now, funny story actually. When I was like a child, right? I say a child. I was really really young, right?
Yeah,
There was it's like really old, like and the phone was like absolutely ancient and it's completely waterlogged or whatever. There was this really old phone, and it was a Nokia, and it was from in our house, right? But we had like a lot of bricks, at one of my aunts
hmm
because they were building something. I don't remember what it was. It was so long ago. But I actually dropped this massive, like massive brick. It was huge. The brick actually broke because, it hit the phone and then the weight went out to the sides, and because it was like right in the center, I'm guessing that the weight went out and actually cracked it because
yeah.
it kept falling towards the ground. But the phone screen did not crack.
Just
So it
fine,
didn't.
just fine condition.
It was all right. Like the phone was already dead. It didn't work. But the fact that the phone screen didn't crack, it, it, it defies a
The
lot
phone
laws of
screen is
physics.
the same thing they use for the Cybertruck, so it makes sense.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly would not be surprised.
What did they use on the thing? The Nokia.
Probably just a normal screen.
No, no, they definitely enhanced it.
Turns out they just made it out of like adamantium or
Yeah.
something. Um, but it's kind of crazy. So it is. And like the best of it is, I think I mentioned it in the last one. I still have a Nokia. I have a Nokia in my drawer, and it works perfectly fine.
Yeah,
So it does.
I live in the 20th century, sir, so I don't have one. I have a touchscreen, glass.
Oh no, my phone is not a Nokia, but I
Your
have
personal
a
phone
Nokia.
is not a Nokia. That's what
Yes,
you're trying to say.
yes. My daily driver
Im-
is not a
Imagine,
Nokia.
imagine that you had a Nokia for your like your go-to phone.
Yeah, but you know,
Sure, someone out there
we're
has it.
talking quite a lot here about phones. So I think we should maybe wrap it up
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I
for
guess
this episode.
we try not to keep it as as doom and gloom like last time. We talked about COVID-19, which no one really wants to hear about. Like,
Yeah,
so
I think everybody's sick of it by now.
what much better than Cybertruck and WD-40? No,
Yeah,
they're joyous topics. Uh,
they are indeed.
but yes, I just want to take us out, Mac, on this fine evening.
Nokias are indestructible, and no one can say otherwise. That is my words of
That's a
wisdom.
fact. Like I guess that like everyone knows that. Like I know that. You
Yeah.
know that. Everyone knows that.